Alright guys, Assalamu alaikum. I'm here in the UAE, specifically in Sharjah, not in Dubai or any of the other Emirates, specifically Sharjah because this is where I live. This is where we chose to move to from the UK. It's been about 7 months since I've been here with my family, so it's my wife and my two girls. We've been here 7 months, like I said. We've been testing and trialing the whole place out. So far, it's been amazing. Definitely don't regret it. It's a lot better here than in Dubai. That's just down to my personal preference, to be honest, because the whole hijrah, obviously. So in Sharjah, you won't find like things like nightclubs. You won't find things like alcohol and that kind of stuff. It is more Islamically inclined compared to like if you look at Dubai, for example. Okay. But some people prefer Dubai, and that's fine. That's just our personal preference to be in Sharjah. So the point of this video really is to kind of go over the whole Dubai Safari Park, because in the last 7 months we've been like testing and trialing different places out, both in Sharjah and in Dubai. So Dubai from Sharjah is about, I would say, about 15-20 minutes depending on traffic. So it's taken me driving up to 2 hours sometime going from Sharjah to Dubai, although normally if there's not traffic it's about 15 minutes probably, so it kind of depends. But like I said, the point of this video specifically is more about going over exactly what to expect from the Dubai Safari Park, what was there, what kind of prices there are, that kind of thing. Later on I will be going into Hijrah series video, kind of explaining more about my own experience here, what's it been like, how did we move here as a family of four, what did we do, what was the process, that kind of thing. So if you are looking to move to Sharjah, UAE generally, I guess Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, or whichever one it is really, keep watching, subscribe, click the notification bell, and let's keep up with the other videos that I'll be posting about that. So there will be stuff like if for my case, for example, I've got a daughter who is in a wheelchair, so she's like special needs from the UK. So there's stuff I'll go over how to obtain a POD, which is what they call the People of Determination Pass here, which is kind of like the UK Blue Badge. So I'll go over that kind of stuff, how we got here, how did we get the visa and the move and all that kind of stuff, okay? So anyway, let's get to the video about Dubai Safari Park right now, and then keep in touch with the video, keep watching the videos, and go ahead and hit me some comments, likes, and let me know if you got any questions about anything. Assalamu alaikum. Alright, so as you enter the park itself, it's very easy to park here. The closest car park was P1, then there's also P2 and a P3. So as you walk in, like you see here, you can go, there's restrooms here, there's shops here, there's opportunities for photos with the different like things that are there. So you got like statues and the trees and what have you there. That's just the front entrance right there. Just a quick picture of it. So you have 6 sections to explore, which I'll go over in the map here. So you've got the African village, you've got like the Explorer village over there, you've got the Asian village, you've also got the Arabian Desert Safari, which will go over in the video later on, the kids farm, and then there's like a walking park there, the Al Wadi, I think it was called. That's kind of a quick overview of the animal encounters. You can get all this information off the actual website as well as a PDF on there. We can download it. You're able to look through that, and I'll explain to you in more detail. Obviously, this is just a quick photo of it, basically. So quickly, in the African village, you'll see all the different animals from like, I guess, the Africa region. So you've got like deers, you've got like zebras. So these are some of the deers that we kind of see in there. And then one more thing to know, okay, is each section has their own like prayer rooms, so you can pray a salah there. Each one has its own azan that you'd obviously expect it to be the case, being in UAE. The azan is loud and clear. You'll see you can hear pretty much hear it anywhere. That was one of the gorillas kind of chilling out. And then we came across this gorilla here. From what we read, I believe the gorilla's name was Digit, and is a rescued gorilla. So you do have like free walking peacocks in the African village. So you can see here, they were kind of just standing in the corner. You can approach them. I don't know if that's a safe thing to do. Literally just go and touch them. One thing I wouldn't do that. So food and drinks, very reasonable price, guys. Very very cheap. It's not overly expensive. Like in UK, it's like double the price kind of thing. So in the UAE, inside the Dubai Safari Park, it's not very expensive. It's like 25, 30 dirhams at the most, probably for like a decent kind of meal, I guess. And it's all fresh and it's warm. It doesn't take too long. What I will say, it is outdoor seating only, so it is absolutely boiling out there. At least at the minute it was like I think 37 degrees while we were there. We kind of opted to go in the heat because we had like a special offer on the tickets. So ticket prices, speaking of, we will go over. I'll try to put them down somewhere because the ticket prices we got them very cheap because it was on a app called Cobone, I think it is Cobone. So I think for us it cost 45 dirhams each for the standard tickets. So there are different tickets. They're obviously available in different tiers. That did not include the main like drive-through safari, which you'll kind of see a bit later on in the video. So we did see some elephants in the African village, you can see here. That was really nice. Kids loved it. And then there's a lot more in the African village as well. I haven't covered absolutely everything and every single animal because some of them were because of the heat, obviously indoors. So within the African village itself, there were supposed to be lions there. The lion place was there, but there were no lions there. They were kind, I guess, inside because it was really hot. So I did ask one of the guys, and he did mention that it is possible that they are probably gone inside because of the heat, and they really take care of the animals, which is great to hear. Okay, so this was within the African village as well. It's a aviary, so you got a whole bunch of different kind of birds. And when you go in there, you'll see it's really nice inside. It's like a bit like a kind of like a treehouse, I guess you could say, and it is very accessible even for wheelchairs. So one of the things we really loved about the Dubai Safari Park was the amount of accessibility for people of determination, or basically people with wheelchairs and disabilities. Is they've got pretty much ramps everywhere, and the lifts are covered, so it's very easy for people to get around. It's absolutely wonderful and very easy for us. That is one of the things we loved, especially considering we had our daughter in a wheelchair. And you can actually get a wheelchair from the Dubai Safari Park. You just had to hand in a piece of ID. So it could be like, for example, your Emirates ID, or if you have like a POD card, some kind of official documentation card or some kind, you have to hand that in exchange for the wheelchair, which is free for POD people. If you're not a POD person, then they do charge from what I believe. I think it's not free for POD, it's half price, I believe it was. That's what we were told. So in our case, we had our own wheelchair, we had an electric one, so it's a lot easier for us to get around in that sense. But if you want to, you can get a wheelchair as a POD disabled user, which is 50% off the price. Otherwise, I believe it's 50 dirhams, so it's basically 25 dirhams if you get the actual POD offer of the half price, which in pounds works out about £5, I think, for the whole day. So at the minute, the current exchange rate is basically 5 dirhams per pound, basically. So this, I believe, was the last thing we seen. I think this was the African village as well, I believe. From what I remember, it was the last thing we seen, I think, which is hippo, which is great because we don't really get to see hippos like this, hippopotamus in like a tank where you can actually literally see the hippo. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so this is the Arabian Desert Safari. So this is actually included free in the standard pass. It's kind of like a open safari. with the less carnivorous and dangerous animals, I guess you could say. So you won't find things like lions and tigers here. It'll be like goats, sheep's, that kind of thing, which was still great, especially that it was included in the standard ticket. That's pretty cool. We did kind of get to see some different kind of animal. It was nice. We went through this. It took about, I don't know, about 20 minutes maybe for this one. So the main safari itself, it takes around about 45 to 50 minutes, which we'll go over in a second, and you can see that. But yeah, this was really, really good as well, especially for the kids. And it was like an open bus, so it was kind of cool. The weather was hot, but it was nice to kind of go through that. And you do kind of have your own guide for this, who kind of explains everything, and shares with you a bit more information about the animals and what kind of feedings they have, and some of the national animals for the national animal of the UAE. So it was nice. It was nice. So also in this area, you do have a prey area, not in the safari itself, obviously, but you do have your own prey area, and you can bring the wheelchair onto this bus itself, as well as the actual main safari. You can bring your wheelchair onto that too if you have a wheelchair. They'll basically fold you up and just put it in the back, and you can carry with you. So this safari particular one takes you from the desert safari area. I believe that was in Asian village, I think it was. So it takes you from the desert safari and it stops at the kids play area. So in the kids play area, you've got all the kids stuff, basically like slides and different things like that for kids, and you got like a petting zoo and all that kind of stuff there. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so as it says here, there was a lot more in the Explorer Village. We unfortunately missed that because of the timing. So this was kind of like a spontaneous trip. We kind of just got up and decided to use our voucher we had. It was an open voucher from Gabon. So by the time we got here, most of like the live feeding and things were kind of done here. But there is like a giraffe feeding and other things you can do here as well. Okay, so this is kind of like the main safari. It is an extra from the standard ticket. It's called the Explorer Safari. So it's like an open safari where you're in a bus. It's a closed bus for obvious safety reasons. But you see a lot more animals. I believe that they said it was like 50 plus different animals. So it is a different kind of experience from, like, for example, if you go to the UK West Midlands Safari Park, this is a little bit different to that. You do get to see a lot of different animals, including tigers and lions, and the cheetahs. And at the minute over here, what we're doing is we're literally kind of driving through that water. So the car is actually in that water and the hippos are around it. So we only seen, I think, 2 hippos at the time, unless there was more there, but I'm not sure. The guide does walk you through and give you a lot of like information about the animals and the habitats and all that kind of stuff. So it's very informative, and generally the actual safari, it's amazing. I highly recommend it that you check it out. Okay, so when it comes to lions and tigers and more of the, I guess, the in-demand carnivorous kind of animals, they are kind of rare in a lot of safaris. But with this, what we saw, the lions, tigers, the cheetahs, we actually managed to see. They were actually there, even in the hot weather. So that was kind of cool. And these were some of these were really, really close as well to even the bus. So cheetahs are one of the things that we never ever managed to see in the West Midlands Safari Park. So we're almost like at the end of the video now. Hopefully you got some value out of that and a bit of information about exactly what you can kind of expect at the Safari Park of Dubai. One thing I did forget to mention is if you are a POD user, you will need to come and claim a ticket from the counter, which is inside at the main entrance. So if you come in, it is on the left hand side. If you go there, have a chat with the person on the desk over there. They will issue you 2 tickets for yourself and a carer, which are absolutely free. So there's no charge for POD people.